Right, how do you find offshore staff? It's kind of a question that I get asked a lot. So I just thought I'd just share with you how we got ours. So there's a lady called Diane that's actually worked with me for coming up to 4 years. I actually found Diane via Upwork. So there are the common ways people tend to find offshore staff are Upwork, Fiverr, onlinejobs.ph. But our team now are in Sri Lanka and in Philippines. Upwork is great if you want to get someone to do some contract or quick fire work for you. But for the work that I would encourage people to get for their recruitment business and for the people that we want to get on board, we want them to be full time. And if you're getting someone full time on Upwork or Fiverr, it's going to be very expensive. The rates are going to continue to go up. We have actually managed to convert some people where we've initially hired them on a contract basis on Upwork or on Fiverr and then moved them onto a full-time contract. But that kind of involved conversations that had kind of off, once we'd engage with them. I think onlinejobs.ph, that's a very good one to look at. LinkedIn jobs for Sri Lanka, that worked out pretty well for us. But the best way is actually just through referrals. Once you've got someone really good and enjoys working with you, and they can see that you're a good trusted employer that pay them well, referrals are your golden ticket to get staff in an offshore area. Now, we interview them as we would do normal staff, so we make sure communication skills are fantastic. We make sure that they understand tools, systems, processes, technology. They've got an idea of what LinkedIn Recruiter is. They're very familiar with LinkedIn. Those are things we make sure are completely clear from the outset. Culturally, we make sure it's a good fit. We as a business have done events where we include everyone. So having a good cultural fit, even if you're not in the office, is really, really important to us. Once we've interviewed myself or our general manager and we're happy with that, we then set a task. And that task is we give some live briefs. There might not be actual live jobs, but we've got job specs, and we then say they've got 24 hours to turn around and come back to us with reasons and rationale as to why those candidates are right. They'll then do that. They will then discuss what led them to go through those different thought processes, and if we're happy with that, often we'll then bring them on, and that's worked really well for us. Now, we've managed to build a team through people reaching out to us on LinkedIn, Fiverr, Upwork, or referrals, as I've mentioned, and we've interviewed them, given them thorough interview processes like we would normal staff. I think it's really important I just drill that message home, because a lot of people seem to just think if they're offshore, they're not that important. They play such an integral part in your business. And if you really focus in on that and make people feel part of the culture, then they will stay with you. What we also do is we make sure from a public holidays perspective, we align the holiday dates that they get to the offices that they work across. Places like Sri Lanka have very high public holidays, so you've got to keep an eye on things like that. Be aware that a lot of the people that you hire from an offshore basis, they're probably some of the key breadwinners in their family, so you've got to make sure they've got a great internet connection. You've got to make sure that if they're working from home, there's not too many distractions, that they're in an area where they can focus and work really well. Sometimes we get our offshore team pulled onto video calls with customers as well, so you've got to make sure that they understand how to use all those tools and systems, and are very familiar with something like Zoom as well. Okay, what we then do is we run through scripts that they can do when it comes to shortlisting candidates. Make sure that you've got a really good script. This is how to talk to a candidate. These are the things you need to break down. This is what the information that you need as a business. Make sure they're completely au fait with that. Test their writing skills. Obviously, you've got Chat GPT now as well. Pre-Chat GPT, writing skills were quite a real sort of sticking point, and where we'd lose a lot of candidates. Post-Chat GPT, that seems to have been eradicated. Things are perfectly spelt and grammatically wonderful. And the last thing I would say is just make sure they are organized. A big part of what you want with an offshore team is someone that can give you regular updates, is able to be that person, to take on a lot of the tasks that perhaps you're not able to take on, or 100% that you're not able to take on. They are like a really cost-effective resource that manages to plug in and take a lot of the tasks away from you that are taking up your time, that you who is meant to be driving business forward, or meant to be, whose rates are more expensive, that they are becoming a real support for you. So make sure whoever you hire from an offshore perspective is really, really organized, that they're able to pick up on client work, pick up on where you may have dropped the ball, that they're there to take that on. Also, you want someone that's, when you're sending them information, that's able to come back to you and tell you when they're going to get tasks achieved. So we're talking to our offshore team that they're sending us regular updates regular charts, regular email interactions as to how they're getting on, just so we know they're kept up to date and we know that they are working on the stuff we want them to work on. A VA or a virtual person should really be one top of your, if you're in the very early stages of your recruitment business, hiring a VA should be one of the first things that you look to do. You as a solopreneur, getting someone offshore to handle a lot of the tasks that are really bogging you down, that's going to save you so much time, it's going to save you so much effort, it's going to make your business way more profitable and free you to do more business development and sales work. And it's absolutely critical that you understand that. That's why organization skills, that's why really good communication skills are critical when you hire offshore.